listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is not an accident, not a coincidence, and not just another word you scroll past. This is a divine announcement from the throne of heaven. God's favor is about to hit your life like a tsunami. You may not see it coming, but it is already gathering strength. You may not feel it yet, but the waves are forming in the unseen. When it comes, it will sweep away every trace of defeat, wash off every limitation, and flood your life with blessings you didn't even have the faith to ask for. This is not a gentle drizzle of grace. It is not a sprinkle of goodness. It is a tidal wave of divine favor that will strike suddenly, powerfully, and undeniably. It will break barriers that have held for generations. It will overturn verdicts that have stood against you. It will silence every voice that said, it's over for you. Because when God's favor moves, it moves with unstoppable force. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't knock gently. It crashes through every door that man tried to shut. For too long, some of you have been standing in dry ground, believing, praying, holding on, but nothing seemed to move. You've been asking, when, God, how long must I wait? And the silence has made you weary. But hear me, when a tsunami builds, it builds quietly at first. The sea pulls back, the horizon goes still, and it looks like nothing is happening. That's the season you've been in, the pulling back before the eruption. God has not forgotten you. He's been gathering power. He's been setting the stage for an explosion of favor so great that even your enemies will have to stand still and admit, surely God has done this. There are moments when heaven decides to move not gradually but violently. When the favor of God doesn't come like a whisper, it comes like a roar. And those who have been faithful in the drought, those who have kept believing in the silence, those who refuse to give up when everything inside them screamed to quit, those are the ones about to see the floodgates burst open. Because divine timing is not slow, it's precise. God does not delay, He prepares. Every delay you faced was not denial, it was construction time. God was preparing the magnitude of your miracle. Some of you thought you were forgotten, but you were actually being hidden. God hid you not to punish you, but to protect you from premature exposure. Because if you had received His favor too soon, you would not have been ready to handle it. He was building the vessel that could carry the wave. And now the wave is ready, and so are you. When this tsunami of favor comes, it won't just change your situation, it will redefine your identity. People who once overlooked you will suddenly need your presence. Doors that were bolted shut will swing open without you even knocking. Those who once mocked your faith will come asking for your prayers. This is what divine favor does. It reverses the natural order. It places the last in front. It exalts the humble. It transfers wealth, position, and opportunity into the hands of those who kept trusting God in obscurity. God's favor is not random. It is not luck. It is divine strategy. It is heaven deciding to accelerate your destiny. You see, favor does what labor cannot. You can toil for years and nothing seems to move, but one moment of divine favor can accomplish more than a decade of a human effort. You don't need the approval of man when you have the endorsement of God. You don't need a connection when God Himself decides to promote you. Favor will speak your name in rooms you've never entered. It will place your image on the hearts of people who have the power to bless you without even knowing why. When God's favor rises, no power of darkness can resist it. It doesn't matter how long the storm has lasted. When the tide of God's grace turns, it washes away every trace of struggle. Some of you have faced the rejection after rejection, but rejection is often the disguise of redirection. God shut those doors because He knew they were too small for what He's preparing to release. That no you cried over was heaven protecting you from settling for less, because when the tsunami of favor hits, it doesn't take you back to where you were. It carries you far beyond what you thought possible. Do you know what happens before a tsunami? There's a sudden withdrawal. The water seems to disappear. People think it's over. But that disappearance is a sign that something massive is building beneath the surface. The same is true in your life. The withdrawal you've been feeling, the loss, the loneliness, the silence, is not the end. It's a sign of incoming power. When God pulls back your seed, He's about to return it multiplied. Every loss will be repaid with increase. Every delay will become acceleration. Every wound will turn into wisdom. There is a rhythm to divine favor. God does not release it all at once, because favor given too soon can destroy a person unprepared to handle it. So He refines you first. That's why you've been misunderstood. That's why doors closed that you begged to open. That's why relationship ended that you thought you needed. God was pruning you so that when favor comes, nothing in you will collapse under its weight. You are being positioned, not punished. The silence was training. The waiting was molding. The pain was proof that God was still working in secret. Now, I want you to feel this truth. Deep in your spirit, you are entering a divine season of overflow, not ordinary blessing, not manageable increase, but overflow that overwhelms your enemies and astounds your friends. God's favor is not just coming to fill your cup, it's coming to flood your land. It's coming to touch every area of your existence, your health, your finances, your relationships, your purpose, your peace. You are about to be surrounded, saturated, and submerged in divine favor. And when that happens, do not be surprised when some people cannot handle it. There are those who celebrated you in struggle but cannot stomach your success. That's why God will not allow everyone to go with you into your next season. When the wave comes, it separates. It elevates what can float and sink what cannot. So do not grieve the ones who cannot stand your favor. They were not built for this level. Some connections must dissolve for elevation to occur. When the wave of favor lifts you, it will also wash away the shallow things around you. God's favor does not come to make you comfortable. It comes to make you influential. It's not just for your convenience. It's for His glory. When He blesses you, it's so others will see what divine faithfulness looks like. You are meant to become a testimony that speaks louder than words. Your life will become living proof that those who wait on God never wait in vain. The coming wave of favor is also a test of stewardship. God is not blessing you just so you can build the comfort. He's blessing you so you can build the impact. When favor finds you, don't use it to boast. Use it to bless. Don't use it to impress. Use it to influence. True favor is measured not by how much you receive, but by how much you release. The tsunami that's coming is not meant to stop at you. It's meant to flow through you. You will become a channel of divine goodness, a river of blessing to those around you. And when God's favor begins to move, do not underestimate how quickly it can turn things around. What took others years will take you months. What seemed impossible will suddenly become natural. There will be no logical explanation, only divine fingerprints. Your life will begin to accelerate in ways that leave people speechless. Because when God decides to favor you, even time bows to His will. Delays dissolve, obstacles crumble, and opportunities appear from nowhere. Some of you are standing in the threshold of this moment right now. You've been tested, You've been refined. You've been prepared. And now the heavens are aligning for your breakthrough. You may feel the ground trembling beneath your spirit. That's the wave coming. Don't run from it. Don't doubt it. Position yourself in faith, because when it hits, you must be ready to receive it. Get your heart in alignment. Get your mind free from fear. Get your spirit open to abundance. Because the tsunami of favor does not stop for hesitation. It moves for faith. Faith is the key that unlocks the floodgate. God's favor responds not to tears, but to trust. It responds not to panic, but to believe. You must believe even when nothing makes sense. Because faith is the signal heaven waits for. When your heart declares, God, I still trust you, even in the drought, that declaration becomes the magnet for favor. And when that faith reaches its peak, heaven answers with force. There are people who will not understand how quickly your life changes. They will question how someone who was struggling yesterday could suddenly be flourishing today. They will call it luck, but you will know it was divine timing. Because God can turn obscurity into influence overnight. He can transform rejection into recognition in an instant. That's what divine favor does. It accelerates destiny without explanation. And let me tell you something. When the wave comes, it will not ask whether you feel ready. It will come because heaven has decided that your time has arrived. You have cried long enough. You have been overlooked long enough. You have waited long enough. Now the heavens are saying, release. You have endured your drought. Now comes your deluge. The floodgates are open. The tide is turning. The current of divine favor is rushing toward your life right now. You will feel the shift in your spirit first. A stirring, a sense that something is changing even before your eyes see it. That's how divine favor operates. It starts within. It ignites a faith that cannot be shaken, a confidence that cannot be explained, and that internal shifter prepares you for the external flood. Because when God's favor finally manifests, it doesn't come to an unprepared heart. It comes to the one that stayed faithful when no one was watching. Your future is not waiting for your effort, it's waiting for your surrender. When you stop striving in your own strength and start flowing with God's timing, that's when you attract His favor. You don't chase it, it finds you. You don't earn it, it chooses you. And when it chooses you, nothing and no one can stop it. This is your moment to stand still and let God move. The tsunami is already forming in the spirit. Every prayer you whispered, every tear you shed, every time you refused to quit it, all built the pressure in heaven. And now the release is coming. Get ready. The favor of God is not coming slowly, it's coming suddenly, overwhelmingly, uncontainably. What's about to happen will not make sense. It will not fit logic, but it will carry the undeniable mark of God's hand. When God decides to move, nothing in creation can resist Him. The mountains tremble, the oceans roar, and destinies that have been locked for years suddenly burst open. The moment the command is spoken in heaven, everything begins to rearrange itself in your favor. What you thought was stuck begins to shift. What you thought was lost begins to return. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned for a supernatural surge of divine power. This is not an ordinary season. This is a divine interruption. God is about to disrupt the pattern of your life with something so extraordinary that even you will have to pause and say, this can only be God. When the favor of God hit like a tsunami, it does not just bless you, it rebuilds you. It restores the pieces of you that pain tried to break. It lifts you from the depths of weariness and breathes new strength into your spirit. Some of you have been walking through invisible battles, smiling in public but crying in secret. Yet every silent tear has been a seed. God has been watching, collecting, and watering those tears. And now He is turning them into a harvest of favor. The pain was never wasted. The struggle was never meaningless. It was divine preparation for the overflow that is about to come upon your life. You see, favor is not a reward. It is a revelation of divine mercy. It is God saying, I still have plans for you. Even when you stumbled, even when you doubted, even when you felt unworthy, God was writing a new chapter of grace. And when this favor wave comes, it will not consult your past. It will respond to your faith. God does not bless you because you are perfect. He blesses you because He has chosen you for purpose. And once heaven decided you are next, no earthly system can deny it. The reason you had to endure long seasons of stillness was because favor is not released to the untested. Before a tsunami rises, there is a great depth of stillness beneath the ocean. That stillness builds pressure, and pressure creates power. You are not being ignored, you are being prepared. Every disappointment was a weight pressing down, creating the force that is now about to propel you forward. The greater the stillness, the stronger the wave. The deeper the pain, the higher the elevation. That is the mystery of divine timing. God allows the ocean of your life to go silent so that when the wave rises, it rises with unstoppable strength. God's favor will not just bring you things, it will bring you transformation. It will change how you think, how you walk, how you see yourself. You will no longer live from a place of lack or fear, but from a place of a divine abundance. You will stop saying, can I make it? And start saying, I was born for this. Because favor not only changes your circumstances, it awakens your divine identity. When the favor of God rests on a person, it gives them confidence that cannot be shaken by human opinion. You begin to walk with a quiet assurance, not arrogance, because you know who backs you. You know that the hand of God Himself is upon your life. And when God's favor begins to manifest, the natural will no longer be able to explain the supernatural. People will look at your story and wonder, how did they come so far, so fast? They will not understand that divine favor is acceleration beyond the human logic. You will find yourself in places you didn't plan, meeting people you never knew, stepping into opportunities you never pursued. Because when favor moves, it draws everything you need toward you. You don't chase it comes. You don't beg it arrives. You don't strive it aligns. But listen closely. Favor also attracts opposition. When God begins to elevate you, not everyone will celebrate you. The wave that lifts you will also disturb those who stayed behind. There will be whispers, doubts, and envy, but none of it can touch you, because favor not only elevates it, protect. The same hand that promotes you shields you. The same God who opened the door becomes the wall that surrounds it. So do not fear the criticism. Do not be distracted by the noise. The noise only means the wave has hit. The shaking only proves that the power of God is active. Some of you have been afraid of stepping into the unknown, thinking, what if I fail? But divine favor is not fragile, it is fierce. When God decides to favor you, even your missteps turn into miracles. The wrong turns become redirections. The closed doors become guidance. The lost opportunities become lessons that prepare you for greater ones. God's favor does not eliminate mistakes, it redeems them. It takes what was meant to break you and turns it into what builds you. The same tide that threatened to drown you becomes the tide that carries you into destiny. Favor does not only lift individuals, it transforms generations. The blessing that is about to hit your life will not stop with you. It will overflow into your children, your family, your community. This tsunami of favor is generational. It will rewrite family histories. It will break cycles of lack of fear, of failure. Where there was once scarcity, there will be abundance. Where there was once shame, there will be honor. Where there was once wandering, there will be purpose. Because when God chooses to bless a person, He uses them as a seed to bless an entire lineage. And make no mistake, favor is not fragile, but it is holy. It must be guarded with humility. When you step into this divine overflow, do not forget who brought you there. Do not let success blind you to the source, for the same God who lifts can also withdraw. But when you remain rooted in gratitude, when you continually acknowledge that every open door is a divine act, favor will never stop flowing. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps favor from drifting away. There are moments in life when you sense something greater calling you. You can't explain it, but your spirit knows something is shifting. That inner stirring you've been feeling, that sense that the old season no longer fits, that's not restlessness, it's revelation. It's God whispering, prepare, the wave is near. When the wave of divine favor approaches, you start feeling disconnected from things that once satisfied you. You lose taste for mediocrity. You begin to hunger for more, not out of greed, but out of divine alignment. That hunger is the spiritual signal that your next level is approaching. When God releases favor, it does not merely decorate your life, it defines your destiny. It is the invisible hand that opens the right doors, the unseen force that causes things to align in your favor, even when logic says otherwise. And once that favor hits, everything connected to you begins to shift. The way people see you changes. The way circumstances respond to you changes. Even the way you think begin to rise to another level. Because divine favor does not just change your environment, it transforms your mindset. It rewires your understanding of what is possible when God stands behind you. There are moments in life when it feels like you've reached the edge, when every option is gone and every effort feels wasted. That is when the divine wave builds its highest. God waits until the breaking point to release His abundance so that no one can claim the credit. When He moves, He does so in a way that leaves no question as to who is in control. The barren ground will blossom. The locked door will swing open. The very people who dismissed you will be forced to recognize that it was not human effort but divine orchestration. And you must understand this. Favor does not follow comfort. It follows obedience. God's favor often finds those who dare to step into the unknown, those who trust the voice within, even when the path ahead looks uncertain. When you obey God, you position yourself for overflow. Every act of surrender, every moment of quiet faithfulness becomes a seed that draws favor toward you. The unseen world takes note of every choice you make to trust instead of fear. And in time, those invisible seeds break forth into visible blessings. When the tsunami of favor hit, it will move with such force that things you struggled for will begin to come easily. Where there was resistance, there will be release. Where there was delay, there will be acceleration. But hear this truth. Divine favor is not given to feed laziness. It is given to fulfill purpose. God does not release power so you can sit still in comfort. He releases it so you can rise in destiny. When favor flows, you must flow with it. Move when God moves. Speak when God prompts. Act when God stirs your spirit. Because favor is not meant to be admired. It is meant to be used. There are blessings that come only to those who can carry responsibility. That is why your journey has been so heavy. God was strengthening your foundation. He was building your endurance so that when this flood of favor comes, you will not collapse under its weight. Many people desire blessing, but few desire the discipline required to hold it. God's favor is not fragile, it is powerful. And to handle power, you must be grounded in humility. So if your process has been painful, take comfort in this. God was preparing your soul to handle what your mouth prayed for. You must also learn to protect your favor once it arrives. Not everyone will celebrate it. Some will question how you rose so quickly. Others will envy what you carry. But you cannot waste time explaining divine decisions to human minds. God did not need their permission to bless you. Therefore, you do not need their approval to continue. Silence will be your shield. Let your result speak. Let your peace be your proof. Favor thrives in quiet hearts that stay focused on purpose, not on the opinions of others. When favor begins to expand, you will also feel a divine stirring to give more, to help more, to bless more. That's because favor was never meant to stay confined within one life. It's meant to overflow. The ocean never keeps its waves to itself. It sends them outward. Likewise, when God releases abundance upon you, it's so that others may taste His goodness through your generosity. The more you release, the more the current returns to you. Divine favor circulates through those who give freely, knowing that their source never runs dry. And let me tell you this, the moment the favor begins to flow, fear will attempt to whisper. It will say, what if it ends? What if it's too good to be true? But you must silence that voice. The favor of God does not come to tease you, it comes to establish you. It is not a passing breeze, it is a permanent ship. As long as your heart remains aligned with the source, the flow will not stop. The only thing that can block divine favor is unbelief. Doubt builds walls. Faith builds bridges. So keep your heart open. Keep your expectation alive. The power of favor also lies in discernment. Not every opportunity is divine, and not every open door is yours. When favor floods your life, you must learn to listen even more closely to the inner guidance of God. He will show you which doors to enter and which one to ignore, because sometimes the enemy disguises distractions as blessing. But if you walk in sensitivity to the voice of God, no counterfeit opportunity can deceive you. Favor without discernment can lead to confusion. Favor guided by wisdom leads to dominion. This wave of favor is not just about material blessings, it's about alignment. It will bring divine connections into your life. People will appear who carry the next piece of your assignment. Doors will open that lead not only to success but to purpose. Because divine favor never moves aimlessly. It always moves with intention. God does not bless you randomly. He blesses you strategically. Every breakthrough has meaning. Every elevation has assignment. Every increase has responsibility. And you must also remember, divine favor will demand separation. There are people and environments that cannot survive where you are going. When the wave rises, it does not carry everything with it. It leaves behind what cannot float. Do not weep over what God removes. Every departure is divine pruning. Every loss is divine protection. The wave is not sent to isolate you. It is sent to purify the circle around you so that what remains can move forward in strength. Do not be afraid of standing alone for a season. When God isolates you, He's not rejecting you. He's upgrading you. He hides you in solitude so He can reveal you in strength. The private years of discipline are the roots that sustain public favor. If you are still in the hidden stage, rejoice, because when the unveiling comes, it will come with acceleration. What others built slowly through human effort, you will accomplish swiftly through divine favor. And let this truth settle deep in your spirit. The same God who brings the wave can sustain it. You do not need to manipulate or maintain favor by human strategy. All you must do is stay connected to the source. Keep humility alive in your heart. Keep gratitude flowing from your lips. Keep faith burning in your spirit. Because favor is not possession, it is a partnership. When you walk in continuous surrender, God continues to pour. The favor that's coming will not just elevate you, it will cleanse you. It will wash away the residue of every season of disappointment. You will wake up one morning and realize the pain that once haunted you no longer has power. The bitterness that once chained your heart will be gone. Divine favor will not only bless your hands, it will heal your soul. Because true favor is restoration. It returns what was lost. It renews what was broken. It revives what was dying. And hear me, when favor touches your life, it will come suddenly. It will not announce itself with a warning. One moment you will be standing in the familiar, the next you will be standing in the miraculous. Because when God moves, He moves in an instant. The same God who spoke light into existence can speak breakthrough into your situation at any moment. So, do not measure divine timing by human calendars. Favor is not delayed. It's delivered precisely on schedule. You are being prepared to carry something extraordinary. That is why the journey has been so intense. You are being strengthened for significance. You are being molded to handle magnitude. God does not build small in those He plans to raise high. Every storm you faced was part of your spiritual conditioning. Every hardship was a classroom where you learned endurance, humility, and faith. And now, as this tsunami of favor rises, you will understand why it had to take time. You will see that nothing was wasted. Every tear watered the ground for this coming harvest. When favor arrives, remember this, it is not about status, it is about service. God will raise you not just to bless you, but to use you. He will place you in positions where your influence becomes a tool of compassion. He will give you resources not to boast, but to bless. He will lift you up, not so people can see you, but so they can see Him through you. This is the sacred purpose of divine favor. It makes your life a reflection of God's greatness. And when you walk in that level of divine grace, your atmosphere changes. Your presence begins to shift rooms. You become a carrier of peace. People will sense something different about you and not know what it is. That something is the fragrance of divine favor. It radiates from those who dwell in harmony with God. It cannot be faked. It cannot be bought. It is cultivated through deep intimacy and consistent trust. When God's favor comes, it does not knock softly. It breaks every door that once shut in your face. It does not whisper. It rolls through your life like a mighty wave that no man can stop. It does not ask permission. It takes over. And when it takes over, everything changes. Those who once looked down on you will look up in awe. Those who once doubted you will be silenced by the evidence of God's goodness. Those who once abandoned you will realize they left too early. For when God's favor hits, it elevates you beyond explanation. It places you in rooms you didn't qualify for, opens doors you didn't even know existed, and set your feet on paths you never imagined you'd walk. Do not doubt the timing of God. Do not question the silence of the waiting season. The silence was never rejection, it was construction. God was building the foundation strong enough to hold the weight of the favor that's about to flood your life. He was strengthening your character, purifying your heart, and preparing you for visibility. Because when this wave of divine favor hits, you cannot afford to crumble under its weight. You must be stable, grounded, and humble enough to handle the glory that's about to surround you. The time of smallness is over. The time of hiddenness is over. The time of merely surviving is over. The favor of God is not just coming, it's accelerating. It's rushing toward you like a tidal wave, unstoppable and overflowing. It will not be a drizzle, it will be a downpour. It will not be a whisper, it will be a thunderclap of blessing that echoes through your entire existence. God is saying, I have seen your tears. I have counted your nights. I have measured your pain. Now watch what I do next. When this favor arrives, you will understand why certain things had to break, why certain people had to leave, why certain doors had to close. It was not punishment, it was divine preservation. God was clearing the path for something greater. He was protecting the soil of your destiny from contamination. Because His favor does not settle where there is clutter. He separates you before He elevates you. You may not see it, but the heavens are aligning. The earth is responding. The winds are shifting. The waves of divine blessing are gathering strength. And soon, they will crash upon your life with such intensity that even your enemies will have to admit it was God. No human hand could have done this. No influence, no strategy, no connection could have arranged this. This is pure favor, unearned, undeniable, unstoppable favor. So lift your head, strengthen your faith, and stand firm. You are not forgotten. You are positioned. You are not behind. You are being prepared. You are not unlucky. You are chosen. Every delay has a purpose, and every disappointment was a setup for divine acceleration. When the wave of favor hits, it will redeem the years that felt wasted. It will multiply what seemed lost. It will restore what was stolen, and it will exceed every dream you once thought was too big. This is your moment to believe without evidence, to praise before manifestation, to declare before sight. Because faith is the key that unlocks the floodgate. Speak it, expect it, prepare for it, because what is coming cannot be stopped by any force on earth. God's favor is not limited by economy, by connections, or by circumstances. It is divine. It moves mountains, shifts atmospheres, and reverses verdicts. Soon, the same mouth that called you forgotten will call you favored. The same people who said you'd never rise will watch you soar. The same ground that once held your tears will witness your triumph. And through it all, you will know it was God. It was always God. His favor was not delayed, it was a reserve. Reserved for such a time as this. Reserved for the moment when your heart was ready, your faith was mature, and your purpose was clear. So prepare yourself. Keep your spirit alert, your faith unshakable, and your words filled with gratitude. Because once the wave of favor hits, there is no going back. The old will pass away, the new will unfold, and you will walk into a season so abundant that even you will be amazed. God's favor is not coming to visit, it's coming to dwell. It's not coming to touch, it's coming to transform. Get ready. The floodgates of heaven are opening, and when they do, your life will never be the same again.